you all to Buddha Purnima Day. In fact, we are expected to have two books. One, this booklet, and the other, this book, the blue one and the green one. The ceremony which we're going to take part in is from this book. So what I would suggest is that those of you who have your own copy, please share with others, and those who do not have, make sure that as many get the opportunity to have a look to share this book. So which means that 2, 3 can be shared between, one book can be shared between 2 or 3. And whereas the other book, the green one, I hope there are ample of them. There should be sufficient number of the books. Okay. Pooja, do we have more of these books? Do we have? Okay. So while the Tibetan staff and they go to collect more of these books for you. So let me quickly explain to you the Buddha Purnima Day. And so ideally speaking, we do not need this explanation, but we see that there is a congregation of people from different walks of life. Buddha Purnima, as well explained by our program coordinator, Ms. Tenzin, that this is the confluence of 3 very important days pertaining to or associated with Buddha Shakyamuni, the very compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, the birth of the Buddha Shakyamuni, enlightenment, and Mahaparinirvana. Okay, just raise your hands, those who do not have this in the blue book, and I request that one book be shared between 2 or 3 people. Okay, and we should be. So first of all, we need to, of course, this is the Buddha Purnima Day, and I'm going to give a quick glimpse of what we should be doing on this, if you really feel something on this day. And meanwhile, what we are doing today, coming together, is all blessings of the Buddha Shakyamuni and His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And most of you here, somehow you're connected with Tibet House through His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And we see that it is the vision of His Holiness with the kind support of the Indian government that Tibet House is established. And right from the beginning, His Holiness, the vision that he has is that Tibet House should become a platform where people can learn about the qualities of warmth, compassion, and so forth. In this regard, last year, Tibet House introduced what is known as the Nalanda Master's Course, which anybody can take part in it, whether you are someone who is graduated, non-graduated, or whether you are, say, you are doing online or you are doing as a regular student, you want to apply as say full-time exam, as the exam-oriented person more with exam combined with taking the course, or you want to take the assignment mode rather than exam. So this flexibility is there in order to make sure that the teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni, grounded in compassion and the understanding of interdependency, which is so relevant in today's world, so that be made accessible to the people. Because of which we introduced this mainly as the vision of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and it has been of great success. Great success, to the extent that we have now about like 450 participants or students all over the world, and many from India, many from America, Singapore, Israel, England, Australia, and so forth, from various places. And we also need to remember all the efforts of the predecessors, Tibet House earlier directors, the earlier staff, who are now no more with us here in Tibet House, but their effort, what we are now here is the blossoming of their efforts. So let us also remember their kindness. So with this, I don't want to take much of the time, and so to be very direct, okay, raise your hands those who do not have this book, the blue one. Just raise your hands. Okay. Tangela, do we have still more copies? If you have more copies, then see if you can get a copy for yourself. You can get a copy for yourself, may not be shared. If we have more copies, seems like we have more copies. Okay, so what I would suggest in this book, this is a book which you will not find in the market. Right? This is a compilation of various very important writings of the great the Buddhist masters about philosophy, or about tackling one's emotions and so forth. This is a very helpful book. So what I would suggest is that from Tibet House, this is going to be like a gift for each one of you. Gift for each one of you. You will not get this book anywhere, right? It's going to be a gift for you. And so we have still more copies, just raise your hands. But those of you who already have 2, 3, 4, 5 copies with you, I would suggest not to take one today. You can use it today, but not to accumulate additional one in your house. So otherwise, who are getting this for the first time, please keep it as a souvenir from Tibet House on Buddha Purnima Day. This is a very helpful book. You read this, and for this, you may not necessarily be a Buddhist. Just read this and you will see how to tackle one's emotions, how to calm one's anger, how to become more compassionate, how to become more, to cultivate greater sense of understanding amongst your family members, and so forth, how to keep yourself more calm, cool, and so forth under stressful times, and so forth. Okay, just raise your hands, those who do not have your own copy. Okay. There's one here. You have? Okay. More Venerable? No. Okay. Just raise your hands if we still have more copies. Okay. So with this, what I want to share with you here, very quick, is that aspirational Bodhisattva vow. Aspirational Bodhisattva vow. This is what we are doing, something not really new. It has been like a year or two that we have started this program, the undertaking aspirational Bodhisattva vow for the masses. So because that it is a vow, people may think that it must be very serious. I'm in the wrong place. So don't worry about that. This is a vow with the least commitment and with the maximum benefit. All right? No commitment at all. The only commitment that each one of us will have as a part of taking this aspirational Bodhisattva vow is that from today onwards, to the best I can, I'll be caring and loving towards others, and I'll be least harmful towards others, to the best I can. And once in a while, you may become angry towards your friend, towards your, towards your parents, towards your children, like this. But deep inside, you should make a commitment that I will never have a grudge. I'll never have a sense of resentment Now, I'll never have a sense of hostility towards others. To the best I can, I'll be loving and caring towards others. At the same time, I will not surrender in the pretext of practicing compassion. I will not give in, I will not surrender to others, but I will practice compassion in a skillful ways. Skillful ways meaning where you're compassionate and other people cannot abuse your compassion. So this is known as skillful compassion. So as a part of this, the Buddha Shakyamuni appeared 2,500 years ago. And, for example, say it has been like maybe about a little over 100 years that Albert Einstein appeared on this earth. And what Albert Einstein said, we see that what he said is just for the humanity, for the good of the humanity. So likewise, the Buddha Shakyamuni, amazingly great, the being who appeared on this earth and who came just for the good of the humanity, not to promote Buddhism, but for the good of the humanity. So in this context, we're all here to remember this great enlightened being, and for his having made a contribution to make this humanity a more harmonic place, grounded on compassion. So, the best way by which to celebrate this Buddha Purnima is if two ways. One, say we can have a very fancy celebration, say offering tea, juice, then cocktails and so forth. This is one way of celebrating. Oh, Buddha Purnima, happy Buddha Purnima. Then you may throw flowers or whatever, crackers, whatever. One way. But to look for a very sensible way of celebrating. Celebrating means it's like remembering this great enlightened being. So the best way by which to celebrate this is by imagining if the enlightened being is next to you, Buddha Shakyamuni, or say Lord Jesus Christ, or say Mahatma Gandhi, and these beings, if they are sitting next to you, and what way of celebration, which way of you celebrating his or her day, he'll be most happy, is that if you do something which is closest to his or her heart, that would be the real celebration. That would make him or her the happiest. So what is that thing? Say for example, for Jesus Christ, one thing which really makes me into, say, which really moves me into deep admiration, was that he's stopping some of the men from stoning a girl who was involved in adultery. And then how he stopped. If I share with you that Jesus Christ came and then he stopped them, then most of the people who are not Christians will leave the place. The moment we say Jesus Christ came, they will not listen to you. Whereas if a gentleman came and he stopped all these men from stoning the girl to death, and instead told the people that the first person to throw stone to the girl should be the one who did not commit any evil in this life. And then everyone dropped the stones. And then the girl was rescued. If I share the story like this, everybody will feel so deep admiration in this gentleman. And who is this gentleman? Jesus Christ. So we should not look at Jesus Christ as Christian, as Christianity, but as a great enlightened being who came on this earth to help the beings. Likewise, the great enlightened beings like Krishna, like Prophet Muhammad, like Mahavir, like Guru Nanak, the Buddha Shakyamuni, all these enlightened beings, they came not to promote one's ism, they came to promote the happiness and the harmony of the humanity. So this being the purpose of their coming on this earth. So Buddha Shakyamuni likewise we see that the main message, if we remember him on the basis of his message, his main message, this is the wise way of celebrating Buddha Purnima. So now the question is, what is the main message of the Buddha Shakyamuni? To make it very simple, two. One is, he said, that all our problems, he came on this earth to liberate us, or in other words, came on this earth to help the beings, seeing that the beings are suffering, to help the beings be freed from suffering. And he finally pointed out to the fact that ignorance is responsible for all the suffering. Number one, ignorance is responsible. Now, given that ignorance is responsible, he pointed out that ignorance, only through eradicating the ignorance, om ye dharma hetu prabhava, all phenomena arise from the causes. Given that miseries, they arise from the ignorance as the cause, it is only by eradicating ignorance that the miseries of the sentient beings can come to an end. So how to bring an end to the ignorance? So ignorance, which is like darkness, it is only through, for to eliminate darkness, it is only through introducing the light that the darkness can be eliminated, otherwise not. Likewise, he indicated that it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eliminated. The next question, what is the wisdom? So this is where the Buddha Shakyamuni made such a great contribution to the humanity, to let humanity evolve in the wisdom to see the reality as it is. So we have the Venerable here from the Theravada side. From the Theravada, it's amazing that the wisdom that this enlightened being Buddha Shakyamuni illuminated this world, or what is the concept known as the illusion-like nature of all phenomena, the anatta, anatma, the concept of the shunyata, the wisdom to see reality as it is. So this is one thing which he emphasized so much. It is on this basis that to see the reality, there should be the great element of the objectivity in your approach. So for this reason, the Buddha Shakyamuni, there's a very popular the stanza said by Buddha Shakyamuni himself, which to share with you is, wise men and the bhikshus, just as the goldsmith tests the purity of the gold by cutting, rubbing and burning the gold, you should also examine my words and put them into practice, not simply because you respect me. So this is what the Buddha taught, emphasizing the need for the objectivity of our approach in looking for the ways and means to eradicate the ignorance. So this is one, the element of the wisdom. This is, if we can ignite the light of the wisdom, this is the best way by which to remember and celebrate the Buddha Purnima. One. Number two, with this wisdom, even though you have the wisdom, even though you have that tremendous wisdom, but if the wisdom is enclosed in a pitcher, if this light, the wisdom which is like the light, if the light is enclosed in a pitcher, the light will not serve the purpose to benefit other people, to ignite what is the reality outside. So this, what forbids you from seeing this light as meaningful, as beneficial, to illuminate other things and help people to see the reality outside the air, this hindrance, the pitcher must be removed. So this pitcher is like the self-centered attitude. With this pitcher, it stops you. It stops this light from going to other places. Likewise, the self-centered attitude will stop you from helping others. So, self-centered attitude, to counteract this self-centered attitude, the Buddha taught the compassion. So this light must be like a sun, must not be confined in a vase or a pitcher. So this light should have the element to illuminate, dispel the darkness, and it also should have the ability, should have the characteristic attribute to spread without knowing the border, spread without biases. So that is through the unconditional love. So only through unconditional love and the wisdom we see that the Buddha's message is being conveyed. So if we are ready to remember the Buddha's, say to remember Buddha Purnima or the Buddha's deeds, the most sensible way by which to do is to ignite these two things. This light, which is pervasive in all atoms of the universe through the unconditional love, and this light of dispelling the darkness of the ignorance. Okay, so as a part of this, what we do is that, okay, let's turn to page 2. Let's turn to page 2. Or else what we do is here, page 2. Let's turn to page 2 of the blue book. Okay, page 2. And as we recite is see how much we can understand the meaning. And some of you who are more regular to the Tibet House, the classes and the courses and the programs, you know some of the tunes with which we sing. We will do them together. And those of you who are more new, just listen to others, and then you can also join us. You can also join us in the recitation. Okay. As we recite this, imagine that the Buddha Shakyamuni, just glowing with radiance and halo, is in front of us, and that Buddha Shakyamuni, for him, all sentient beings, human beings, animals, insects, the tiny worms, everyone with a feeling, everyone is like a child. This is what he feels. So imagine all sentient beings around you, surrounded by all these beings, and the Buddha Shakyamuni is there, and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who is the sole reason why we are all together here. So let's just do the proper visualization, and particularly what I would suggest is you can also think of your two parents with you, and because some of you might have your parents with you here, some of you might not have your parents here. So let us give them also let them have the share of their celebrating the Buddha Purnima with us here. Okay, with this, let us turn to page 2 and say this together. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. In great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mother of the Buddhas and of the hearers and Bodhisattvas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seek into complete peace, who through the knowledge of past causes those having been greatest achieve the aims of the world, and through possession of omniscience the subdue set forth the varieties in all aspects. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teacher, Sugata and protector, to you are my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever light rays. To you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Okay, let's turn to page 7. From the bottom. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Joda Soge Chonamda, Chanju Bardo Dane Gyatsuj, Age Jinso Gibe Sonam Ge, Dola Benjir Sanye Do Varasho, Sanye Joda Soge Chonamda, Chanjo Bardo Dani Gyapsuche, Dagi Jinso Gebe Sonamge, Dola Benjir Sanye Dukaresho, Sanye Choda Sogi Chonamna, Chanjo Bardo Dani Gyapsuche, Dagi Jinso Gebe Sonamge, Dola Benjir Sanye Dukaresho. Okay. This mantra is what I'm going to quickly explain very briefly. The meaning is given there, of course. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. This is the meaning. The mantra, Om Ye Dharma. This is a very beautiful mantra which is common between the Pali tradition, Theravada tradition, and the Mahayana tradition. This is common mantra. And so what the meaning is, it's written there, but to make it very precise, Om. Om, this syllable is consisted of 3 letters, A, U, Ma. And these 3 letters, they symbolize the body, spiritual mind of ours, which are defiled body, spiritual mind of ours, and also the enlightened body, spiritual mind of the Buddhas. Buddha does not mean Buddha Shakyamuni alone. When each one of us, when the mental defilements are cleansed altogether from each one of us, we become Buddhas, you become Buddha, she becomes Buddha, he becomes Buddha. It is not confined to only one being, one enlightened being. So, the Om, with this, seeing that the three letters which constitute this syllable, Om, represent the body, speech, mind of the unenlightened beings like us, and also the body, speech, mind of the enlightened beings. In other words, it's a reminder for us that as we recite this Om, this is a reminder for us to transform this very dirty, defiled body, spiritual mind that we have into a purified version of the enlightened body, spiritual mind of the enlightened beings. The next question, how do we do that? How do we do that? Okay, same like this water. If I'm very thirsty and then I just put this glass in a very dirty water like Yamuna, North Delhi, from there you just take a glass of water and then you want to drink it. Nobody likes to drink it. It's so dirty. Although you are very thirsty, you don't like to drink it. Why? Because it's dirty. Okay, now if we subject this same glass to, say, to the process of purification, like the reverse osmosis and so forth, we see that all the dirt can be separated from the water. All the dirt can be separated from the water, and the water becomes so clean. You remove the dirt, and the water becomes so clean. You want to drink it now? Yes. All the mineral water that we get, they are all like this. They are all treated water. So another question is, this very clean water came from where? From the dirty water or from outside? This question is from the dirty water itself, which means that the dirty water, however dirty the water is, the true nature of the water is not dirty. Say a black charcoal. A black charcoal, if I assign you to make it white, inside out, you remove the black part and the charcoal will disappear altogether. Whereas with the dirty water, you remove the dirt, water does not disappear. Instead, water becomes very clean. So what is the difference between the two? One, you remove the dirt and it becomes very clean. Other, you remove the black part and the charcoal disappears. So what is the difference? So you all know the answer, that with the black charcoal, intrinsic nature of the charcoal is black. So when you remove the black part, you are removing the intrinsic nature of the charcoal. So which means the charcoal disappears. Whereas with the dirty water, the dirt, the filth, that is not the intrinsic nature. Pollutants are not the intrinsic nature of the water. You remove them, in a way you are separating the adventitious nature of the water and the intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature of the water is so clean. You remove the dirt and the intrinsic nature becomes manifest. So this is what we would like to have. And our mind, all of us, some of us, we might have a feeling of self-hate. But This is a total, it's all because of our failure to discover who we are. So the true nature of our mind, the true nature of mind is nothing for you to feel angry towards. This is something so pure. The true nature of mind is so pure. However dirty your mind is, it is not like the black charcoal. It is like the dirty water. So the true nature of our mind is so pure. Just remove the metal dirt and the true nature of the mind will become vibrant and manifest. So at that point, you become the enlightened divine being. This is what the Buddha indicated. So with this, the question is Om. Om. So this tells us that you are not the ordinary person. The true nature of you is one with the divinity. Now the question is, how to make it manifest? Ye dharma hetu prabhava. So the remaining the lines are said. Ye dharma. Ye dharma means these phenomena which are dirty. These phenomena which make our mind dirty. They prabhava. They arise. They arise. Prabhava hetum. Prabhava hetum, on the basis of the causes. They arises through the causes. The defilements that we have is not something that is intrinsically within us. They come by dependence on the causes. If you rectify the causes, the defilements are rectified, they are all gone, they are all cleansed. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava. Hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. So what these causes are, hetum, these causes, tesham, Tathagato hyavatat. What these causes are, causes which make a mind defiled. These are hyavatat, taught or said by the Tathagata, enlightened one, the Buddha Shakyamuni. He taught what are the causes which are responsible for defiling a mind. Tesham chayo nirodha. Tesham chayo nirodha. Nirodha is a cessation, coming to an end. Coming to an end of these defiled causes. Evam, thus Vadi said, Mahashramana, so the great is said by the great seer, the great being. Okay, so how to bring an end to this mental defilement so that the final purity of the mind becomes vibrant and manifest, and then you are seen as a divine, as a divinity, is taught by the great seer, the Buddha. Okay, so this is what we're going to say together 3 times. If this is what we can take home, this is the best way by which to celebrate the Buddha Purnima. Okay, this is what the Buddha taught for us. And if we are happy, if we become sensible, this is how the Buddha would be most happy. Okay, with this mind, we'll say this 3 times. Recite it in 3. Recite it with a tune 3 times. And those of us who know how to recite this, will recite it together. Those of us who do not know, we just listen to others and slowly join with us. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam ati mahashramanaye swaha. Tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam ati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam ati mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Okay, let's turn to page 10. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. So as we recite this, oftentimes people might have wrong understanding. As we say the praise to Buddha Shakyamuni, it's just to praise him so that he'll be happy. This is not the idea. Praise to Shakyamuni is to praise to Buddha Shakyamuni to point to the qualities which made this enlightened being enlightened, which made this enlightened being someone who is so respected by others, someone who is like the light of the world to dispel the darkness of ignorance from us. So what made this enlightened being enlightened? What are the qualities which make this the enlightened being enlightened? So as we read this praise, just see to the qualities mentioned there and see if you have some of those qualities within you. If you do have, rejoice in yourself, and then see how to nurture them further, how to further nurture these qualities. If you don't have them, never mind. Knowing that now these are the qualities I see, these are the things that I also need to cultivate, so that I'll be happy, my family members will be happy, and everyone around me will be happy. Eventually, I'll also become like one like Buddha Shakyamuni, to be like a sun, to eliminate, to eradicate the darkness of the ignorance in the minds of all sentient beings. So this is how we should say this prayer. Okay, let's say this together. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct. So rather, know the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, are prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate, with pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme sign, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dress feel like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean. To you, the one gone to dustness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Do not commit actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your minds thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual apparition, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, say conditioned things as such. Through these merits, mere sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, let's turn to page 17. Heart Sutra Mantra, page 17. Okay. As we recite this, again this will be set with tune. So those of us who know how to sing this will say this together. Those who do not know this will listen to us and will join us. Okay. So as we recite this, to make it very quick, Tyartha means here is thus, here is thus. Om, the same meaning. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha. Gate means go, is Sanskrit. Gate is go. Go, go, gate, gate, paragate, go beyond. Parasamgate, utterly go beyond, go utterly beyond. Bodhiswaha, establish your enlightenment. Right? Meaning, go where? Is it external journey? No, it's an internal journey. Go from the very defiled state to the more purified state. From the purified state to the still more purified state. So 5 steps were mentioned there. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhiswaha. 5 steps. And these 5 steps, precisely you can understand what exactly are these 5 steps. I don't want to go into the detail now. So it's simply as we mentioned earlier, that the Buddha Shakyamuni finally indicated that our mind is like a dirty water. It is not like a black charcoal. It's like a dirty water. However dirty the mind is, the true nature of mind is never dirty. It is so pure. So in other words, true nature of each of us is a divine, is a divinity there within us. So this divinity must be disclosed fully. How to disclose it fully? As we mentioned earlier, it is through cleansing the mental defilements, cleansing the defilements. So this is a journey of gati, go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your enlightenment. When this is said, it is indicating to the internal journey of cleansing the mind, and finally make your mind, let the true nature of the mind, which is so pure, come out like a blazing sun to illuminate every single atom of the universe. This is how we benefit sentient beings. So as we recite this mantra, imagine that a very compassionate Buddha Shakyamuni, 2016 years ago, once he was alive on this earth, he was so vibrant on this earth, and all those very fortunate people, they were following him, they were actually seeing him, they were actually hearing him. So imagine that we are back, we are 2,500, 600 years back in time, and we are just having the vision of this very compassionate Buddha Shakyamuni. And then imagine that Buddha Shakyamuni is telling us, or informing us, very compassionately informing us, don't remain in the fears of samsara, stress, tension, anxiety, angst, whatnot. Don't remain in these experiences. Come out of these miserable experiences and come towards the ultimate happiness by disclosing the ultimate, the treasure of happiness which exists within you, by removing the mental defilements. Imagine that this is what a compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni is inspiring us, and then you hearing these melodies, the melodious voice of the Buddha Shakyamuni, then you inspire your two kind parents, all the family members, and everyone. Just look at all the people who are, say, on the border between Pakistan and India. How many people are suffering? And there in Syria, how many people are suffering there? And everywhere, in the hospitals, how many people are suffering? In the hospices, how many people are suffering? And in the hands of the terrorists, how many people are suffering? And in the say, animal slaughter, the slaughterhouse, how many animals are suffering? Just think of this, and then you, like the angel of the Buddha Shakyamuni, right, the representative of the Buddha Shakyamuni, you would then inspire everyone else. We are suffering because of the mental defilements in the form of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. So the moment we discount these two, that we become so independent, no external factors can affect us anymore, that your mind becomes like a blazing sun. So this is what you're going to imagine, that you are informing this to all your dear sentient beings on behalf of a very compassionate teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. And then everyone so happily joins you in this journey, internal journey of Gati Gati, Paragati, Parasamgati, Bodhisattva. And those of you who have some exposure to the understanding of emptiness, understanding of the shunyata, anatta, I suggest you to once in a while reflect on this anatta, because it is through the another experience of the shunyata, experience of the dreamlike nature, that you can actually go through the process of cleansing the mind. So this is what we should be doing. And this is a great opportunity for all of us. Just imagine that your parents, no one is left aside. Just bring all of them mentally, bring all of them in a visualization, and imagine that they are all taking part in this, and you are leading this, and everyone is happily joining you in this internal journey of Gati Gati. Okay, let's say this 7 times with the tune. Om Gati Gati. Paragati Gadi Gadi Vara Gadi Vara Samgadi Bodhi Swadhyata Om Gadi Gadi Vara Gadi Vara Samgadi Bodhi Swadhyata Om Gadi Gadi Vara Gadi Vara Samgadi Bodhi Okay, next, page 19. Page 19, 8 verses in my training. So this, we need to know a little bit of background of this short text, which has only 8 verses. Here the idea is that, believe it or not, the pains, anxieties, oftentimes the mental pain we go through, somehow they're connected with our ego. Whether you accept it or not, this is a fact. Somehow they are connected to what is known as the self-referential ego. Somehow, that's the same incident where somebody may shout at you, and how you take it. You can take it very gently, you can take it very confidently, or you just shout back instantly, and then see what's the consequence. So we see that finally what makes us unhappy, mentally unhappy. Physical pain is one thing, mental pain is another. Mental pain, somehow they're connected with what is known as self-referential ego. Self-referential ego. Okay, I'll share one thing with you very quickly. Say you say that what is your the blood pressure? You say your mother asks you, and you say, oh, my blood pressure is 200, and what is the top, and the bottom one is say like 120. Then the mother may become very anxious. What is this? It's so high. You're suffering. And then you say, oh, sorry. I didn't say 200. I said, say 100. What is the normal one? 120. Say it's 119. 119. But you didn't say this. You said 200. I said, I didn't say this. And your mother said, you said it, right? And you said, no, I didn't say this, right? If the other person really loves you, right? Instead of saying that, you said it, and you said, I didn't say that, you said it, and then the fight escalated. Right? Instead of that, the real love and affection is reflected, not like this. There's, oh, I'm relieved. Instead of saying that, you said it, right? You said it's 200. Instead of that, if you say, oh, I'm relieved that it's not 200, it's 119, it's perfect, I'm so happy. The other person will really feel your love and affection. Whereas you say, you said it, you made me so anxious. It's a selfish anxious. It's selfish. Because I become anxious, I should not be anxious, right? So this is selfish. This is not a genuine love. Genuine love is seen as that when there's a concern happening, I'm so relieved that you're healthy, right? So this is how we have to see to the difference between what is known as I, known as self-referential ego. And the other one is confidence. Oftentimes, people mix the two things, self-confidence and the self-referential ego. They mix up the two things, and then when the person is, oh, I should not be egoistic. Ego is the one which makes me unhappy. Then you tend to lose one's self-confidence also, because the person equates the two things, self-confidence and self-referential ego. So when you equate the two things, this is how oftentimes what happens in the world, that you equate the two things, self-confidence and the self-referential ego. So when you equate the two things, when you subdue the self-referential ego, self-confidence also goes down. This is a problem. This is not a nice thing. Whereas when you boost self-confidence, your ego also goes up. This is a problem. Now, with this 8 verses of mind training, this is a very skillful way by which to subdue a self-referential ego and at the same time not compromise with the self-confidence. Self-confidence must be boosted. You should not lose your self-confidence. We must have to have self-confidence, but not at all given to the self-referential ego. And we see that somehow all our problems are connected with the self-referential ego. And self-confidence is the basis for all our happiness. And self-referential ego is the basis for all our miseries. Keeping this in mind, we have 2 tasks to do. One is to distinguish the 2 things. What is self-referential ego and what is the self-confidence? And distinguish the 2 things and not to equate the 2 things, not to see the 2 things as interchangeable. 1. Number 2 is how to boost self-confidence and how to undermine, how to subdue the self-referential ego. So this text is a beautiful text, it's an amazing text. Just read this, and this is like really a nectar for us to see. It's like a mirror for us. Whether you're Hindu, Muslims, Christians, Jains, Sikhs, Buddhists, whatever, who's ever follow this, you see that this is like a mirror of my own thinking. So this is how I should rectify my mind and make myself happy. The moment you're happy, only you can export happiness to others. When you're not happy, how can you make your children happy? How can you make your parents happy? How can you make your people happy? So in order to export happiness, you must be rich in happiness. So how to make yourself rich? The happiness is by boosting your self-confidence and undermining the self-referential ego. And self-referential ego is the one which attracts all the anger. And anger is one which disrupts the happiness. Okay, with this in mind, let's recite this together. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, in all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, or pressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all the hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefined by the stains of the mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, the God of claim be released from bondage. Okay, the next stanza, page 21, this is the one precisely to boost our self-confidence. From my 2 collections, vast experience that I've amassed, from working with effort and this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes, blind and ignorance. Okay, now as a part of taking the aspects of Buddha as a vow, we will do 5 minutes of meditation. 5 minutes meditation, all of us. 5 minutes meditation. Okay. For meditation, 5 minutes. Okay, for the meditation, what we do is that those of us who are already familiar with meditation, you can do your own meditation. And those of us who are doing meditation for the first time, I'm going to give you a quick instruction, very quick instruction. This meditation is going to be a breathing meditation. Breathing meditation, a very simple yet very effective. Right? So these are things that you get from Tibet House. Very simple, very effective, and no commitment, and full of benefit. So these are things that we are expecting to get from Tibet House. Okay, so very simple yet very efficient and beneficial in your life to distress yourself in your life. This is very helpful practice. Okay, The instruction is that for this, there are four points to keep in mind. The body posture, the focal point, the identifying the errors of meditation, and then finally applying the remedies to overcome the errors. 4 points: body posture, focal point, identifying the errors of meditation, finally applying the remedies to overcome the errors. One, body posture. To make it very quick, say, if you can sit cross-legged, well and good. If not, you can sit anywhere on the chair. So whatever position is good for you, you can do that. And then for someone who likes to do a long-term meditation, it's good that you don't lean against a back support. Don't recline again on back for long-term practice. Whereas for one day, short term is fine. And when your body is upright, but keep your body flexible. It should not be rigid, it should be flexible. This is very important. Eyes, okay, generally speaking, eyes, generally speaking, not closed, right? But we see that the mixture of the audience is there, so it's up to the individual. Generally speaking, advisable eyes to be maintained half open, 45 degrees cast down, right? Okay. The tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva during meditation. The tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate. And the teeth and the lips, keep them in their natural course. And the hand gesture is up to the individual. Generally speaking, the one thing which is very helpful to your long-term meditation is your right hand on your left hand and the tips of two thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the two hands in the restful state on your laps in a restful state. This is one, there's so many hand gestures. This is one of the gestures and it's very helpful. This is the body posture. And breathe naturally. Breathe naturally. This is the body posture. Number 2 is the focal point. What you're going to meditate on. There are so many kinds of meditation. Even within breathing meditation, there are numerous kinds. So what we're going to do here is one of the simplest ones. You focus on a very tiny dot, white dot of 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter between your nose and the upper lip. This is what you're going to focus on. While you focus your mind there, multitasking. Count your breath, breathe in, breathe out, cycle 1, breathe in, breathe out, cycle 2. We're going to do this for like 5 minutes. And some of you may see is 30 counts. For some it may be 40, 50, 60, depending on the length of the breath. Because the length of the breath varies from one person to the other. This is the focal point, number 2. Number 3 and number 4, so important. If somebody is keen to do meditation more on a daily basis, it's extremely important to take note of point number 3 and point number 4. Point number 3 is identifying the errors of meditation. What errors can they be? What errors can potentially be there while you do the meditation? There are 2 errors. One is mental scattering, or known as the mental excitement, where your mind is just, your body is like this, your body is just in the proper nice posture, meditative posture, but your mind has already scattered in the shopping malls, in the pubs, right? So this is totally wrong. Your mind is already scattered, and it is self-deception. This is self-deception. So that must be controlled. Mental scattering must be controlled. Number 2 is mental laxity. Mental laxity is the inserviceability of your mind. Your mind becomes heavy, your mind becomes lethargic, inserviceable, your mind becomes very passive, and sleepy. This is the second error. So these 2 errors must be guarded. Now point number 4, applying remedies. Applying remedies when the errors do happen. There are 2 remedies. One is introspection and the other one is mindfulness. Introspection is like when you lose your pet dog, what do? You go in search of the pet dog. So your mind is like the pet dog. Your mind does not sit on the focal point and it gets distracted or it starts sleeping. So there, you first go in search of the mind to see what the mind is doing. This is the introspection. Once you find your pet dog, then the job of the introspection is done. Now the next is the job of the rope. Tie the dog with the rope and bring it home and tie it to the pillar at your home. Likewise, when you see that your mind is distracted or your mind is sleepy, then we apply the next remedy, which is the rope of the mindfulness. Rope-like mindfulness. Mindfulness must be applied to mindfulness, which is like a rope. Bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Okay, this is what I'm going to do for 5 minutes. Okay, ready? Okay. Okay, now as a part of the actual undertaking of the ceremony for undertaking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, what we do is okay, a few seconds. You like to relax yourself, stretch yourself. A few seconds, 5 or 10 seconds. You have to relax after meditation. Okay. Now, to really remember the Buddha Shakyamuni, Buddha Purnima, to celebrate this, it is through celebrating his qualities, and the qualities that we need to be mindful, or that we need to remind ourselves of his qualities, as I said earlier, the wisdom and the compassion, unconditional compassion. And because of the constraint of time, I like to make it a little quick. That's through the practice of the four immeasurables. The metta practice, the practice of the immeasurable compassion, immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable joy, and immeasurable equanimity. So this practice is common between the Theravada and Mahayana. So this is a very beautiful practice, and it does not require you one to be a Buddhist. It does not require one to be even a religious person. Someone can be very secular or non-religious and still do the practice and reap the benefit. So this is what we're going to do here together. Okay. So as a part of this practice, it involves a little bit of it involves a visualization. It involves deliberate activation, to be creative, deliberate activation of the feelings inside, feeling of compassion inside. So this is going to be more like guided meditation. Guided meditation. Just try to invoke the respective experiences as much as we can. As much as you can. At times it may become a little superfluous, the superficial. It doesn't matter. So even to say that, for example, say that there should be no wars. We should be peace-loving citizens of the world. Even to say this is great. This is great. You are supporting the world peace. Even though mentally you may not be feeling it so strongly, but still, even to say this is great. Likewise, this practice, for some, it may seem a little superficial. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even to say that I will do something, although it may not tally with how your mind works, it doesn't matter. This is how we take the steps. When you say Gate, we don't say Gate Bodhi Swaha. There are so many other things in between. Gate, Paragate, Parasangate, Bodhi Swaha. So these are the steps through which we eventually envision to see the cleansing, to see that you become a happier and happier person. Okay, so with this in mind, sit properly, and as I said earlier, try as much to make your visualization, make your reflections as vibrant and as moving. Okay, visualize the Buddha Shakyamuni, who is being remembered here, all over the world, for his compassion, for his incredible the insight into the interdependency of each other, and also they bring to reflection of all the enlightened beings who you specifically seek inspiration from. For example, like say Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, or say the Krishna, Ram, Guru Nanak, and then say Mahavir, and all this, and then say Bahula. Just bring to your visualization of all these enlightened beings from whom you seek the blessings, and also include the Buddha Shakyamuni. For today we are here to celebrate the Buddha Purnima. Okay. And on the two sides, visualize your two parents. Some of you might have difficulty with your parents. It doesn't matter. This is a message only if you know how to be loving and caring towards the parents. And out of the, say, whatever number of the people who have little difficulty with the parents, for sure, out of that number, like 90% of the people, they already received maximum love and affection from their parents when they were very young, age 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problems occur when you start to reach age 15, 16. Then the problems arise. And whereas there could be some factions of people who did have problems since as early as age 2, 3, 4, 5, so where the mother might be going through mental problems, mental illness and so forth. So there's a few number of people. For you, you can sort of reflect on any other figure who has been exceptionally kind towards you in your life. Whereas for those of us who did experience tremendous love from your parents, you must include them in your meditation. Your parent, your mother, your father, and all your family members, your children, and all family members, and if possible, particularly to make this Buddha Purnima something vibrant. Let us make the wishes of this Bodhisattva, compassion Bodhisattva, make true by including everyone, not only just your family members, but everyone, including the insects, animals, and the unknown people, and everyone include there, and give them the chance to also engage in this practice of the metta practice of love and affection. Okay, so this is the practice which, along with the practice of the wisdom, which is closest to the Buddha's heart. Okay, so with this in mind, just follow the instructions, and as much as possible, invoke the respective experiences. First, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness, particularly the wisdom of emptiness and the unconditional love towards all sentient beings. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and all the enlightened beings, witnessing that you are making such a gracious commitment, they're intensely happy. They're intensely happy. And this happiness invokes their compassionate minds to send forth nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all the other sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars with the bodies of beings in yours instills in all happiness and the causes of happiness. And you witnessing that such a miracle is happening to us all the other sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sign with the relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. Here, particularly remember all those beings who are suffering in the hands of the terrorists, in the hands of in the hospitals, in the hospices, and then the children suffering, and then the animals suffering. Just think of all those beings who are suffering. How good would it be that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the causes of suffering, particularly the ignorance and the self-centered attitude. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my sentient beings are free from suffering and the causes of suffering. The Buddhas and all the enlightened beings, witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment to take the responsibility of all the sentient beings on your shoulder, the way the eldest daughter, the way the eldest son makes the commitment to the mother, mother, please take rest, I'm already grown up, I'll take care of all my siblings. You have done everything for us for the last all these many years. Please take rest, I'll do everything, I'll take care of my siblings. Imagine for the first time the mother is so happy, could not believe her ears, could not believe her eyes, she's so happy. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhas and the enlightened beings when you make this courageous commitment. And this happiness and the excitement invoke the compassionate omniscient minds to set the nectaries and very soothing lights towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars where the bodies of beings are yours washes away all the miseries, uncaused miseries for the minds of the beings are yours. And you witnessing such a miracle is happening to us, all the eternal sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness the beings are endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings be never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they are endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they are endowed with. The Buddhas and all the enlightened beings, witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy, and this happiness and pride that they feel in you invokes the compassion of omniscient minds to send the nectar spray, soothing lights towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and the nectars with the bodies and beings yours stabilizes all the happiness and the cause of happiness that beings are endowed with. And you're witnessing such a miracle is happening to us all the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Finally, the immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all of the dear sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, witnessing the way of making such a courageous commitment, they are intensely happy. And this happiness and the pride that they feel in you invokes the compassionate omniscient minds to set the nectars and very soothing lights towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies and beings yours frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all of the sentient beings equally, leaving none aside. And you, witnessing such miraculous happenings towards all the sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, Sigh with relief. This experience of unconditional love towards all human sentient beings, this is the metta, the practice of metta, the practice of unconditional love. Abide in this experience for a while. This experience of unconditional love. Imagine with this spirit, you're looking at the face of, you're looking at the face and eyes of each of the human sentient beings with tremendous love, affection, care, and embrace, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. With this mind, with folded hand, let us make a commitment, the vow. And I'll say this line once, and we'll all say this 3 times together, wholeheartedly try to invoke this experience. And this experience is going to be the final seed of happiness for yourself, final seed of happiness for all your family members and all human sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Abide in this experience for a while. This is known as the bodhicitta, compassionate mind, altruistic mind of bodhicitta. This is what is the closest to the heart of the Buddha Shakyamuni. By doing so, we are remembering the Buddha Shakyamuni of his incredibly unconditional love towards all human sentient beings. Okay, so thank you. So now we will we'll have the recitation of the sutras in the various languages, but it's going to be as short. Okay, anyone? Pujana? Yeah. So this book now, this book. Pujana, you can use this. Is it working? Not working? Okay, it's working now. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Now it's the time for sutra recitation. So to begin with, I request Venerable Ananda to recite a sutra, Heart Sutra in Pali on page number 1.
So meanwhile, everybody will join us.
Yeah, and I request everybody to join us with us.
Which page? Page number? No. Wait. In English? Okay. It's not here. Here? Okay, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Page number 1. Page number 1 of the book. It is in Pali.
Dhammantapako. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma Samma Sambuddhassa. Nati nahoti dhammatu yena tang sahanaye yusa attang anattanicca uho nicce upanditu asahasena dhammena samena nayati pari dhammasa gustu medhavi dhammatu dipavucchati. Natyena pandito hoti yavata bahuvasati kheme avheri avhayo panditoti pavucchati. Natavata adhammadharo yavata bahuvasati yosa appampi suttvana dhammang kayena passati savi dhammadharo hoti yo dhammang napamacchati natena thero hoti yanassa palitang siro Pariyapakko vayotassa mokajinoti pucchati yamhi succa sanca dhammassa ahimsa sayoma dhammo savi vantumalodilu peroti pavucchati. Navakharanamatena vannamukhataratayawa sadurupo narohoti isuki macchirisatu yassa citang samucinnam malugacchang samohatang Navantha sumedabhi sadhurupeti pucchati Nati namundakena samayano Yavatu alikang vanang Icca lobha samapanno Samano king vavisati Yosa sameti papani anutta anuttulani sabbasu sametattahi papanang samanoti pavucchati natena bhikkhoti yavata bhikkhute pare Vissang dhammang samadaya bhikkhoti nathavata yodho puyanca papanca vaheta brahmacharyaya sankaya loke charati save bhikkhoti bhussati Namo namo nehoti mulaharupo avitasu yosa tulawang paggaha varamadaya pandito papani parivajeti samuni tena sumuni yo munati uvaloki Muni tena pavucchati Natena ari ohoti Yana pana anihinsati Ahinsaya sabba pananang हरिपूति पवोच्यते शीलवातामन्त्येन वाहुशच्येन वपुना आतव असमाधिलाभेन विदिचायानेन वा पुष्समेन खमो सुखाम् अपूतो ध्यानसेविताम् भिक्खु विससमापाधि अपातो अमसावकारम् एतेन सच्चवज्येन सद्दुते होतु साब्बद एतेन सच्चवज्येन सब्बदुःख सब्बभय सब्बरोग सब्बअन्तराय विनश्यतु एतेन सच्चवज्येन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम् सभ्येति उविवाजन्तु सब्बरोग विनश्यतु माते भवतु अन्तरायु सुखी दीर्घायुको भव भवतु सब्बमङ्गलम् रक्षन्तु सब्बदेवता सब्बबुद्धनुभावेन सरस्वती भवन्तु ते भवतु सब्बमङ्गलम् रक्षन्तु सब्बदेवता सब्बधर्मानुभावेन सरस्वती भवन्तु ते भवतु सब्बमङ्गलम् रक्षन्तु सब्बदेवता सब्बसङ्गानुभावेन सरस्वती भवन्तु ते साधु साधु साधु. All beings be happy.
Thank you, Venerable. Now I request Pranshuji to recite Pragya Paramita Hridaya Sutra in Sanskrit, which is on page number 4.
पंचस्कन्धाः तांश्च स्वभावशून्यान् पश्यति स्म इह सारिपुत्र रूपं शून्यतां शून्यतैव रूपम् रूपान्न पृथक् शून्यतां शून्यतायां न पृथक् रूपम् यद्रूपं सा शून्यता या शून्यता तद्रूपम् एवमेव वेदना संज्ञा संस्कार विज्ञानानि इह सारिपुत्र सर्वधर्माः शून्यता लक्षणा अनुत्पन्ना अनिरुद्धा अमला न विमला अनूना न परिपूर्णा तस्मात् सारिपुत्र शून्यतायां न रूपं न वेदना न संज्ञा न संस्कारा न विज्ञानानि न चक्षुः श्रोत्रघ्राणजिह्वा कायमनांसि न रूप शब्द गन्ध स्पर्शव्यधर्माः न चक्षुर्धातु यावन्न मनोविज्ञानधातु न अविद्या न अविद्याक्षयो यावन्न जरामरणम् न जरामरणक्षयो न दुःख समुदय निरोधमार्गा न ज्ञानं न प्राप्ति न अप्राप्तित्वम् तस्मात् सारिपुत्र अप्राप्तित्वात् बोधिसत्त्वस्य प्रज्ञापारमिताम् आश्रित्य विहरति अचित्तावरणः चित्तावरणनास्तित्वात् अत्रस्तो विपर्यास अतिक्रान्तो निष्ठनिर्वाणः त्रय्यध्वव्यवस्थिताः सर्वबुद्धाः प्रज्ञापारमिताम् आश्रित्य अनुत्तरां सम्यक् सम्बोधि अपि सम्बुद्धाः तस्मात् ज्ञातव्यः प्रज्ञापारमिता महामन्त्रो महाविद्यामन्त्रो अनुत्तरमन्त्रो असममन्त्रः सर्वदुःखप्रशमनः सत्यं अमिथ्यत्वात् प्रज्ञापारमितायां मुक्तो मन्त्रः तद्यथा गते गते पारगते पारसंगते बोधि स्वाहा गते गते पारगते पारसंगते बोधि स्वाहा गते गते पारगते पारसंगते बोधि स्वाहा
Thank you. Now, Mr. Naresh Mathurji will recite the Vajrakata Sutra in English, which is on page number 6.
I am reading excerpts from the Vajrakata Sutra. I seek your forgiveness for having taken the liberty to add or delete a conjunctive and tweak a word here and there. I might just say before I read that dharma here means phenomena, or broadly things. The Bhagavan said, Subhuti, grasping a thing as solid is in itself a convention. That dharma does not exist as expressed, yet it is so grasped by ordinary childish beings. Subhuti, if someone were to say, viewing as a self was taught by the Tathagat, and viewing as a sentient being, viewing as a living being, viewing as a person were taught by the Tathagat, Subhuti, would that be correct? Subhuti replied, Bhagavan, it would not. The Sugata asked, it would not? Why is that? Subhuti replied, Bhagavan, because that which was taught by the Tathagat as viewing the self was taught by the Tathagat as non-viewing. Therefore, one says viewing as a self. Bhagavan said, Subhuti, those who have correctly entered the Bodhisattva's vehicle should appreciate all dharmas like this. They should appreciate like this, not abiding whatsoever in any discrimination as a dharma is called discrimination as a dharma. Why is that? Subhuti replied, because discrimination as a dharma, called discrimination as a dharma, is taught by the Tathagat as a non-discrimination. Therefore, one says discrimination as a dharma. Further, Subhuti, compared to any Bodhisattva Mahasattva, who completely fills the unfathomable and incalculable world systems with 7 kinds of precious things, were to give gifts. If any son or daughter of the lineage, who having taken as little as a stanza of 4 lines from this perfection of wisdom, were to memorize or read or understand, or correctly and thoroughly teach it to others in detail, on that basis the merit he would generate would be incalculable and unfathomable. How should one teach correctly and thoroughly? Just how one would not teach correctly and thoroughly. Therefore, one says, teach correctly and thoroughly. As a star, a visual aberration, a lamp, an illusion, a dewdrop, a bubble, a dream, lightning and a cloud. View all the compounded things like that. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, the elder Subhuti, the Bodhisattvas, the fourfold disciples, bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas and upasikas, and the world with devas, humans, asuras and gandharvas were overjoyed and highly praised that taught by the Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you, Nareshji. Now, finally, I request Ms. Maya Joshi ji to recite the Heart Sutra in English, which is on page number 8.
The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, Sanskrit Arya Bhagavati Pragya Paramitha Hridaya Sutra, Tibetan Sherab Ningpo. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem.
Thus
did I hear it one time. The Buddha was dwelling on Mass of Vultures mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharadavati Putra. Shariputra, any daughter or son of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty. It is recommended that we pause for a while to meditate on emptiness. This point. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. No visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. So the mantra of the perfection of wisdom is thus declared: Tadyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that. It is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas will rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajna Paramita Vinay Sutra. Tadyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be destroyed. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now.
Thank you, everyone.
And dedication.
So now we'll do the end dedication prayer, which is on the page number 309 of the other prayer book.
Okay. So undertaking the aspiring Bodhisattva vow, and now having also read the sutras in Pali, Sanskrit, and English, we will do the dedication of the virtues accumulated towards the benefit of all sentient beings. Praying that your family members are happy, that everyone around you they are happy, the world is peaceful, and all the miseries of the world come to an end and mitigated, and may the power of the truth, the power of the compassion, the power of the wisdom proliferate in all directions, and the negativities in the minds of the beings come to zero. So this is what we pray as a dedication. So this is the best way by which to celebrate the Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha Shakyamuni is buried the Mahabharata Nirvana. Okay, let's turn to page 309. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until I wish for enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today the Buddha's blessings, I gently command a full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the Triple Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I choose the wishes of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I truly remain to dispel the miseries of the world. A part of the union of emptiness and compassion is loosely explained by the protectors of the Dharma and the beings of the snowland. You are the lotus hold at Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans or non-humans who help by malice to perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be truly vanquished through the power of the truth of the rituals. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by Adamant history and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of the dependent origination in particular, even in the personal life. Okay, so with this we end, and Puja will make a conclusion. Meanwhile, let me thank each one of you for coming here, taking part in this, and be a part of the force of good, force of compassion for the world, that truth is revealed, and that the miseries come to an end, and the peace proliferates. So let me thank the Venerable for the recitation of the Pali section of the Sutra. Let me also thank the Brahmaji for the recitation of the Sanskrit version of the Sutra. Let me also thank Nareshji and the Maya Joshiji for reciting the sutras in the English, and for everyone here for joining this. Finally, we have to have hands to make the truth, make compassion be the victor in the world, so that the corruption and all the bad habits come to an end, and everyone sees greater happiness in the truth in the future.
So now on behalf of Tibet House,
No. Okay. Yes.
On behalf of Tibet House, now I thank everyone to join us for taking part in this celebration of Bodhicitta Day on this auspicious occasion of Buddha Purnima. So we have also arranged tea and refreshment for everyone on the other side of the hall. I request everyone to please take this share, please.